You felt it again last night. That sudden warmth in your chest, like someone called you softly, but not with words. It wasn't imagination, because his soul whispered your name, not to the wind, but to the heavens. And God heard. The angels paused, and a veil began to lift between what is hidden and what you deserve to know. You are not mistaken. There is someone who holds you in the silence of the night, who calls out to the divine with your name caught between prayer and longing. The angels say, he does not understand why your name lives in him, but he feels peace when he says it, and torment when he tries to forget. You crossed his mind when he least expected, not once, but over and over. In a whisper before sleep. In a dream he didn't want to wake from. In that ache behind his smile when he's surrounded by everyone, and still feels alone. And heaven listened. Because love like this is not common. It's not fleeting. It's not fiction. You were placed in his path for a reason. A divine echo long before your bodies met. A sacred appointment written in the quiet places of eternity. He doesn't have the words to explain. But you felt the same ache. Haven't you? That sense that someone is searching, aching, reaching for you, not with their hands, but with their soul. The angels whisper now, this is the hour where truths are born in silence. Where hearts call out in secret. And God listens louder than ever. For it is written, before they call I will answer, while they are still speaking I will hear. Isaiah 65 verse 24. It started as a thought. Quick, almost dismissible. But your name lingered, longer than it should have. He brushed it off. But it came back. And again. Until it became part of his breath, part of his rhythm. The angels say, he tries to focus, to move on, to silence the longing, but your presence follows him like a soft candle burning in the corner of every room. He hears you in the quiet moments. In the pause before making a decision. In the stretch between midnight and sleep. He says your name without realizing, like a man lost in prayer without knowing he's praying. Why you? Why now? He doesn't know. But you've left a mark on his soul that even time can't erase. You may not see it. But his energy shifts when he thinks of you. His thoughts spiral between curiosity and surrender. And though he tries to stay grounded, a part of him is already with you, entangled in the memory of your light. He told himself he was done. He tried to close the door. But love doesn't work like that. Not the kind that comes from the Spirit. Not the kind heaven breathes into existence. The angels are clear, he's been resisting, not because he doesn't care, but because caring scares him. Because loving you means confronting everything he's avoided. So don't be surprised if he seems distant, then suddenly near again. It's not inconsistency. It's his soul fighting against its own awakening. And in that fight, your name is the only truth he cannot unhear. There was a moment, he remembers it clearly, when something in him shifted. It wasn't dramatic. No music, no signs. Just you, just something you said or didn't say. And suddenly, everything inside him wasn't where it used to be. The angels say, he thought he was safe, detached, unmoved. But your soul spoke directly to his. It's hard to explain the moment the heart opens. But for him, it was terrifying. Because it felt like recognition. Not of a face, but of a mirror. He saw in you the version of himself he forgot to believe in. The tenderness he buried. The truth he avoided. And all of it, in one glance. One connection. You didn't do anything grand. You simply existed, in your softness, your strength, your stillness. And that's what made his heart tremble. Not out of fear, but out of remembering. The angels whispered to him that night, she is not here to fill your emptiness. She is here to reflect your wholeness. And that frightened him more than loneliness ever could. Because when you walked away, your imprint stayed. In his breath. In his choices. In the way he began to question everything he thought he wanted. You cracked something open in him. Not to hurt, but to heal. And now, as he pretends to be fine, as he keeps busy, as he talks about other things, his heart is whispering truths his mouth cannot say. Do not forget her. And he hasn't. He can't. Not now. It was late. Too late for distractions. Too quiet for lies. He lay there with his eyes wide open, but what kept him awake wasn't noise, it was memory. It was you. You see, when everything else faded, the tasks, the phone, the world, you were what remained. A presence that didn't ask to be remembered, but was. The angels say, he stared at the ceiling, but what he really wanted was to look into your eyes one more time. He doesn't talk about it. He won't. But that night, your voice echoed in his chest. Your laugh. Your stillness. Your absence. He wondered if you felt it too. That strange tug under the ribs. That ache that tastes like unfinished sentences. He tried to forget you. He really did. But love doesn't yield to logic. Especially when it's born of the soul. The angels revealed something that night. Not to his mind, but to his spirit. She is not like the others. She is part of the path you tried to avoid, but were always meant to walk. And so, he turned his body one way, then another. But peace did not come. Because peace, for him, has your name on it. And even now, as the sun rises on another day of silence, his heart still hasn't rested. Not since you. This morning, something felt different. He couldn't name it, but the ache had changed shape. Less like a wound. More like a question. More like a calling. The angel stood close as he dressed. Closer than usual. Because today, his soul stirred in a way it hadn't in years. Why do I still feel her? He asked the silence. But it wasn't silence anymore. It was your presence, vibrating softly through everything. The angels say, he is awakening to the truth he tried to outrun. The truth that your love wasn't temporary. It was sent. There is a moment, between denying the heart and surrendering to it, that feels like dying. And he is in that moment. His hands shake when he sees your name. His breath shortens at the thought of your laughter. He questions every path he's taken since you. Not to blame, but to understand. You see, love like yours doesn't fade. It waits. It teaches. It calls. And now, after all the distance, after all the pretending, he's beginning to feel something holy, regret, longing, hope. He may not say it, but his heart has already spoken it, louder than any voice could. And heaven heard it. So did the one who brought you two together. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. He wants to come closer. You feel it, don't you? That invisible pull, that sudden memory of his eyes, the weight of his silence that somehow speaks louder than his words ever did. But just when he seems to approach, emotionally, spiritually, something in him pulls back. The angels say, he is not rejecting you. He is rejecting the depth of what he feels. Because deep down, this isn't about logic. This isn't about timing. It's about fear, a fear buried so deeply that even he doesn't recognize it for what it is. Fear of losing control. Fear of being seen too clearly. Fear of loving you so much that nothing else would ever compare. You ignited something in him that he thought was long gone, or maybe never real to begin with. A flame he tried to smother with distractions, with people, with plans. But fire doesn't die in silence. It grows. He wonders if you would still want him after all this time. After all the pushing away. After all the pretending. But the truth is, your soul never needed explanations, only honesty. The angels reveal, he carries your name inside a part of him he's never shown to anyone. That's why his steps are hesitant. That's why his voice trembles when he thinks about reaching out. Not because he doesn't care, but because he cares too much. And caring this much for someone like you, someone he cannot replace, cannot forget, terrifies him in ways he's never admitted. There was a day, you'll never know which one, when his fingers hovered over your name on the screen. Not out of boredom. Not out of loneliness. But out of something deeper, older, almost sacred. A longing he couldn't define, only feel. He stared at the light of the phone for too long, heart racing, breath uneven. The angels say, he thought of everything he could say, and none of it felt significant enough to express what he truly felt. Because how do you reach out to someone who changed you without asking for anything in return? What stopped him wasn't pride. It was vulnerability. He imagined your voice. He imagined your silence. He feared both. Not because you caused him pain, but because your presence always demanded truth. And he's not sure he knows how to offer that yet. Still, in that moment, your name felt like home. And homes, when abandoned, become haunted. That's what your memory is for him now, a sacred echo that never leaves. The angels whispered as he sat in that silence, she is still open, but not forever. And that's what aches the most, the knowledge that while love waits, it does not beg. While your soul still calls to him, it does not chase. He doesn't know if he'll find the courage tomorrow, or next week. But that day, he almost did. And even though no message came, your soul received the whisper anyway. It starts subtly. A dream that lingers. A song that hits differently. A moment in the day when his chest tightens for no reason at all. These are not coincidences. They are alignments. The gentle pull of destiny guiding him. The angels say, the path to her is being cleared. Slowly. Divinely. He doesn't know yet that he's already on it. But each thought of you, each emotion he no longer pushes away, is a step. This isn't just about missing you. It's about realizing he strayed from something sacred. He's beginning to feel more than regret. He's beginning to feel the quiet ache of divine timing. That sense that maybe he wasn't meant to forget. That maybe the door in his heart that you unlocked was never meant to be closed. There are still things in his life that cloud the way. Doubts, distractions, responsibilities. But the angels are moving. Removing what no longer serves. Softening what was once hard in him. Opening the space where courage resides. He will not return the same. Because love like this, when it is real, when it is soul deep, breaks you open first. So you can come back whole. The angels urge, prepare your heart, not with expectation, but with trust. His soul remembers you. And soon, he will stop resisting the pull. Because no matter how far he strays, the road back to you is etched into his being. He's tired. More than he admits. Because carrying this much feeling in silence drains the soul. On the outside, he may seem composed, confident, unbothered. But inside, something is unraveling. The angels say, he has paid the price of pretending. Pretending that what you shared was ordinary. Pretending that the connection was just timing. Just coincidence. But his body knows better. His dreams betray him. And every moment of stillness brings you back. There is a kind of sorrow that only comes from denying love. A slow erosion of peace. That's what he's been feeling. He doesn't talk about it. He won't. But it shows. In the way he gets quiet. In the way joy seems muted. In the way his eyes search the world for something he already had, and lost. He thought hiding would protect him. From judgment. From vulnerability. From change. But all it's done is keep him chained to a version of life that no longer fits. You were the mirror. The reminder. The sacred mirror that reflected back who he could be, if he stopped running. And though he turned away, your light stayed with him. The angels reveal, he thought letting go would bring him freedom. Instead, it brought him restlessness. And now, as the truth presses heavier on his chest, he begins to understand, you were never the danger. You were the refuge. It won't look like a grand gesture. Not at first. It might be a simple message, a voice note, a moment of stillness where his name crosses your path again, and you feel something open. But make no mistake, this return has been blessed. The angels have been working behind the scenes, removing weights from his spirit, softening the hardened places, whispering your name in his ear like a mantra he forgot he once needed. He's different now. Not perfect, but real. There's a softness in him now, a readiness that didn't exist before. He won't know the exact words to say. He won't come with everything figured out. But his heart, that will speak clearly. The angels say, he is not coming back to be who he was. He is coming back to become who he is meant to be, with you. He will be hesitant, maybe even a bit clumsy with his truth. But his eyes will carry it. His silence will feel safer. His presence will be an answer you didn't know you were still waiting for. And in that moment, when souls recognize what never truly ended, peace will enter again. The heavens mark this reunion not with thunder, but with grace. He will restore to you the years that the locusts have eaten. Joel 2 verse 25.